you drop this.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about
Have
it.
a nice day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Oh, hey, sorry. Can you tell me what the train station is?
It's over there.
Do you have a map?
You can use your Google Maps.
Oh,
It'll tell you where to go.
okay. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
This woman shows something that, honestly, a lot of guys have experienced in real life, but maybe didn't understand at the time. You approach a woman, maybe ask a simple question, try to be polite, and she comes off cold, short, or just plain uninterested. It can feel like rejection or even disrespect. But here's the twist. Sometimes that cold behavior actually means she is attracted to you, and she's just overwhelmed by the moment. It sounds backwards, but for some women, when there's no romantic pressure, like if you're someone she's not into, she can be friendly, warm, confident. There's nothing at stake. But if you're someone she is attracted to, suddenly, everything tightens up. Her voice changes, she avoids eye contact, she might act like she wants to get out of the conversation as fast as possible. To the guy, it can feel like she's brushing him off. But in reality, her brain is short-circuiting a bit. From a man's perspective, this can be confusing and even frustrating. You might walk away thinking she's not interested or that you did something wrong. Meanwhile, she's replaying the moment in her head, cringing because she knows she came off awkward, but couldn't help it. That's the part guys don't always see. The internal panic some women feel when they're trying not to mess up around someone they're attracted to. And this dynamic can really mess with how men read women in dating. Guys are taught to look for signs, body language, tone, eye contact, to know if a woman's into them. But when those signs are scrambled by nervous energy, you get false negatives. The friendly girl might not be into you at all, and the shy, distant one might be the one who's actually crushing hard. This can lead to guys chasing the wrong women, ones who are easy to talk to, but just being polite, and ignoring the ones who actually have genuine interest but can't express it smoothly. It also feeds into the idea that women are confusing or send mixed signals, when really, it's just anxiety playing out in real time. And look, this doesn't mean you should start assuming every cold reaction is attraction. Sometimes it really is disinterest, but it does mean leaving room for a little more interpretation. If a woman seems nervous or awkward, not rude, just flustered, it might not be rejection. It might be that she likes you too much and doesn't know how to handle it. So what do you do as a man in that situation? Stay grounded. Stay respectful. Don't push. But if you notice that kind of nervous energy, maybe don't take it as a personal L right away. Give it a little space, maybe another interaction. Because attraction doesn't always show up looking confident and smooth. Sometimes it looks like someone struggling to hold their composure. In dating, that awareness can be a game changer. It helps you stop taking things personally, and it gives you a better read on what's really happening under the surface. Sometimes the woman who seems the most distant is the one who's feeling the most. Now that we've laid out the analysis, here's Updates Mojo with the commentary.
Okay, thank you, computer, for your input on this topic for today. Alright guys, so I'm grateful for the support you guys have been showing. I really appreciated the comments and everything, really appreciate all of that. So today we're going over the topic of how women react to people they're attracted to and versus when they're unattracted to them. So the computer definitely gave some decent input on it, and I couldn't help but notice the commentary of the video clip as well that can add another layer of value to this content. So I'll be using it as references to as I go along with a few of my points, right? So we've all been there as humans where sometimes it can even be male or female too, but usually males are more direct with how they feel. They'll act the way they mean to a female that they're attracted to. I mean, of course, you might see in some media or even in real life, really, where when you see a kid, like the male is being like provocative to a girl, like keeps giving her trouble, so to speak, and they ask him like, why do you keep attacking her or whatever, and it's like the kid just likes her but doesn't know how to express himself, you know. Now, as adults, we're not expected to do things like that, but this clip kind of seems similar to that in a sense, meaning that she's behaving in a way that's like Angelica to Arnold would be a very good example. Yeah, where Angelica is always saying demeaning things to Arnold, always bullying him whenever she encounters him, but as soon as he's not looking, it's love poems, a shrine dedicated to her love for him, you know. So it's kind of like that, what I was trying to say about the young male child doing something to that effect is what I meant, right? In this context now, as adults, we're expected to be able to communicate a lot more effectively and make sure that our intentions are understood, but it's not the same for everyone, really and truly, right? So for example, in this clip, she's very nice to a person she has zero attraction to, but as soon as she has attraction to him, she does a full 180 and she's acting like she has the complete ick for the individual when it's the opposite, right? So yeah, I've had experiences like that myself personally, where in some cases it's not even the attitude that I get like Arnold would get from Helga, but sometimes it's just they're nice and everything, and in my head we're just cool friends because I'm not attracted to the person in question. But come to find out months later, she's confessing that, I had a major crush on you and this and that, and I'm like, why didn't you just say so? why not just say this in the first place, right? But yeah, not everyone can communicate their feelings in a straightforward manner that can allow for the party they have an interest in to be able to recognize and respond in a manner that would allow for some progressing to occur. Whether progress is to let the person know that they're not interested, or let the person know that I was interested too, I just didn't say anything, but you bringing this to my attention now allows me to say, okay, let's go ahead and see where this goes, right? So with that in mind, before we even go any further, let's just look at some of the commentary on this. Okay, so one man is saying 53,000 likes, by the way. Oh, so that's why women seem repulsed by me. It's because they're all secretly in love with me. That's lit. Fear of rejection equals reject them first. No fear of rejection equals being a normal human being. Right, someone says, why am I like this? This is why I'm single. So this would clearly be a female in this. 8,000 likes. Let me see the comments, the replies, I should say. My face is why I'm single. I have a sociopath's face. I'm sure it's working on that with some confidence could help. I'm always wondered why things like this happen. It's similar to being around someone you want to be friends with. It's like we subconsciously try to play it cool. Someone asking why the person before looks like a sociopath. I think that one took the storm for the rest of the comments. Let me just move on to the next comment then. Such a good example of how we push away what we like knowingly. Sounds like another woman again. This is so true. I can act nice in front of the guys I like, whereas I'm really nice to everyone else, including strangers. Yeah, this is weird to see. Oh, yeah, this is what I'm thinking. This is some really backwards logic. Because if you like the person, there's nothing wrong to at least say it or whatever. Especially if you're a woman, it's gonna be. I doubt you're going to experience rejection as harshly as a man would in most cases, right? In terms of it being from a female, I don't think you're going to have rejection as harsh or as often, because especially if you're attractive as is, keep yourself fit and everything. And don't get me wrong, plus sides the ladies can get as well too, right? But my point is that your rejection, even if you do get a rejection, it's not going to come off as, it's not going to be a harsh one, right? When it comes to being a male now, it's like rolling a dice. You never know if it's going to be a harsh one, if you're going to get kicked in the nuts with some harsh words, or if it's just going to be a polite, oh no, I'm not interested, or I have a boyfriend, or something. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes, even I remember in some of my experiences, I would literally just try and just do it like casually, right? Depending on the environment, because sometimes, like if you're at the supermarket, for example, you can just say, this is like recommend a good or healthy brand or whatever, depending on the aisle, recommend a product, or give a commentary on the product and start a conversation from there. And in my instances, sometimes randomly I would actually get through with the person being interested, right? I remember even in a church like setting, I remember I was talking to someone casually, like they were really attractive, but I wasn't thinking of them in that sense, in terms of approaching them like that. But then once I did mention that, yeah, I was attracted to you and all these big words, that's when they shared that they were from day one, and I had no clue of that. And it was more than one instances of things like this. Like, so really having confidence in yourself and just being direct can really help in terms of getting to that point where the person can either let you know that, yes, I'm interested, let's see where this goes, and I've been eyeing you myself too, or she can just let you know that, I never thought of you this way, let's just be friends, or let's stop it right here, right? I've had my fair share of harsh rejections, not many really, but and my fair share of enthusiastic yeses. Right? So it's all a part of life, really. So if a female like this now is gonna act this way, a lot of times it's gonna be seen as a red flag if she's like this per se, because it's kind of like, why, as a functional adult, haven't you learned how to communicate your feelings properly? It's really just a matter of how we ourselves as men, or the person that's pursuing the interest, would go forth with how we approach the situation, how we react as well, right? So it's really important to have the confidence in yourself needed to progress and at least make the effort to try and see where it goes, because it's like a business move, right? Where you're taking risks. It's important to at least try to see how far the progress can go, because sometimes you might be surprised. Things like this does impact the success rate in the dating market of the modern world. So it's important that we can learn to be honest with ourselves and have our actions reflect that honesty as well. I think a key thing in this is, in terms of health, it's always important to work on ourselves so that we can work on that confidence. Because perhaps if this guy approached her, he would have gotten a favorable response. Maybe not, maybe. But like I said, it's like rolling a dice. You never know what you're going to get, right? Because she's very attracted to him, but look at how she's responding, right? For me, immediately, this is a sign to say, yep, I should just move on, because she's trying to dismiss the conversation. So pursuing it any further would come off as definitely creepy, right? So you never know these days. So some people might have even better luck with dating apps with the right swipe versus an in-person interaction, which it probably wasn't the same back in the 90s or 80s. But either way, I want to know what you guys think in terms of this lady's reaction. Was it too much? Is it something that you've experienced? What are your stories in this context? And ladies, what are your stories in terms of acting like this as well? If you've ever acted like this, has there been anyone that has made you react like this before? I mean, have you been in the position that a cameraman has been in this instance? And let me know what your stories are like. I'm looking forward to the comments, just like in the last video. Sometimes you just gotta shoot your shot and always be confident in yourself, because sometimes you might think that you're not what they're looking for when you might just be exactly what's on their list of ticked, all hooks ticks for what they're looking for on their checklist. So just shoot your shot.